close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase to lead us. Time is all we ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left.
Oh man, hey, surprise attack. Welcome to the Jetty Jet Show. I'm Jet. Welcome back. We got another episode. I just woke up and we are starting early. Oh no. I'm hearing myself double time. I screwed up. I thought I had everything perfect. Hold on a sec. This how There it is. Gotta mute everything. Hey guys, welcome to the Jetty Jet Show. Jetty Jet, and this is the Jetty Jet Show. We're gonna do some figure drawing today, and we're gonna focus real good. I went to go pee, and I set the time for 6:30. It's actually 5:45. I'm super early. That's because it's a surprise attack. Anything happens. You don't expect it. Hey, what's up, Link? Link, how you doing, Link? You're the first guy on the show. Yavril, back again. Back at it again. What, Wad Wizard? Time does keep slipping. Okay, we're going to jump right into this. We're not going to BS. And so the focus today is actually, I'm going to do this for you guys. I did this actually after our last stream where we talked about all this stuff here. Not our last, but our last stream. So I'm going to show you guys how to render something like this, and it was pretty fun and easy. So join me. Let's see some of the steps I take into drawing this. Bear with me because I'm going to do this live. Okay, I'm going to see if I can do this live for you. Now where are we going to put him? Are we going to have a place of his own? Should we have a place of his own? Should we turn this off? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do it. Let's walk through it. And so I was thinking about making this an individual tutorial video, but I'm like, man, time is slipping again. Time is slipping. Is this just this guy here? I want these guys out of here. Let's just do a new one. Let's just do a new one. I don't want to. Okay, so if you guys paid attention to the last one, I talked about all the differences between live figure drawing and picture figure drawing. So, hey, Liquid Below Zero. It's been over a year for me since I started streaming. I think maybe a year. 6 months or something. I think it was a year. It was pretty bad. But I'm back at it again. So what we're gonna be drawing is this dude here. And so that's him. Okay? That's that guy. And him here. That way I can switch out to this one. I don't have to keep it on that screen. Now, you saw him, okay? So I'm going to be trying to draw him from the picture. Should I draw him from the picture or life? Because the life is actually different from the picture. The life is different. Because the camera isn't like my eyes. It's more towards the left. Let's do it. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the length of the figure. Let's just indicate our length. That way we're not confused about how tall he's going to be and how much of the page is he going to take up. That's about good. I like them kind of smaller because then you can still get all the texture from the pencils and stuff like that. When it's a larger resolution, that's a question someone had. You're not able to see the the textures as well, because it's tinier. Like if I'm out here, like it just looks like a line, but if you're smaller and more pixelated, lower resolution, then you're gonna see it. So let's go through all the steps. Okay, I'm gonna use a rough pencil. No, let's use a colored pencil. Colored pencil, I'm gonna use 0.10, 0.3. 0.3 is good. And I'm gonna just block in his shapes. Gonna do the head here. Make sure we do this fast, so I'm not gonna do it the direct on approach. Lay down the what we call the car frame, the body frame, still keeping in mind the relationships between the objects. Like left shoulder is lower than the right. I gotta remember not to look at the actual mannequin. I keep doing that. Left elbow is lower than the right elbow. Oh, I keep looking at it. So left comes down at an angle like this. So you can see, pay attention to what type of angles you have. In this relationship here to this here, that's about as low as that hand gets. See, I drew that line. That's just to indicate where my eye's looking. I'm not drawing like a sword or something. It's just how it looks. So like this line. Okay, so I'm keeping in mind those relationships. Coming down about halfway. See, I remember when I first started drawing, I always had to mark the halfway point before I got to it, because when I'm drawing, I get this tunnel vision, and some of you might experience this. Is you draw, and then you go past it, and you're like, oh, this is my halfway point because of everything else. But that was a common problem. It always happened, always, consistently. It's just like, it was annoying. But eventually it just stopped happening. Okay, see how this angle here? It's wrong. Oh, look, you got a smaller picture up there, so you can see kind of the appropriate angle. So when you're looking at the excuse me. So when you're looking at the actual mannequin in like thumbnail format, you can actually make out the angles a lot easier too. See that? I can see the angles just looking at those little things. So follow along, children, and I'm doing this fast because I want to devote 1 hour to this. Maybe we'll talk about I don't know what was I gonna talk about. Dang it! Stop looking at the photo. I mean, life. Life. So this is a useful technique I used for both life drawing and photo referencing. Mostly for photo referencing. Mostly for everything, actually. Okay, so I have the figure down. And so I forgot. I was going to use a lighter pencil. Now let's just lighten this thing up a lot. Okay, this is something I would do in actual figure drawing. You want to keep it light because I'm not going to use layers. That's the goal here. I'm just trying to indicate these things as light as possible. You know? Because if we're gonna build on top of it, and you don't have layers and you're drawing in real life, you're not gonna have all the luxury of these layers turning on and off. Okay, so let's go faster. Begin drawing in the figure. No, not the figure, sorry. Still blocking it in. I'm still blocking it in. So that's one thing I do is I draw really light. I remember using charcoal for this, a lot of charcoal. Okay. So we're gonna render this out, all the lights and shadows. So I guess I could call this figure drawing lights and shadows. And it's actually a lot of things. It's also anatomy and everything else. 45 hours a day. That looks good. Haven't watched your stream. It's all about relationships. That's right. It's all about relationships. Oh, we're screwing up already. Alright. So let's just block these in. Got the birds out today. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. Actually, I've been doing these personal drawings lately. I'm posting them on Instagram. And supposed to do one every day. Haven't done one today, but I've done it for the past 4 days. It's been kind of successful. Successful. So I'm gonna do a personal drawing after this drawing. Now, how do you render? How do you render? That's the question we're doing. Okay, so stronger angle here. Smaller hand here. Smaller hand here. So I've indicated most everything. Let's give him a haircut. Let's give him a cool haircut. I think that's something that's missing from my drawings. They don't really have haircuts. So when you're drawing on a large canvas, it's gonna be a whole bunch of different things going on. But you want to use like a light, a more dense charcoal brush pen, or if you want to just use pencil, you can use an H pen, 2H. It's just gonna keep it light and easier to draw over. So check the drawing. Check the drawing. Let's check the drawing. Check your own drawing. Check the figure. All right. Let's get the line down here. Let's make some bolder lines, okay? So okay. Much stronger tilt is there? No. So first I want to make sure I get all of the muscles right. And this isn't going to be our final drawing, so keep the lines kind of broken and loose, because they're kind of lines, unless you're doing like a comic book graphic style, they really just should be there to hold the shapes and forms and the colors that you're going to use. The colors. Can't see that, it's too tiny. Let's switch it out so you guys can see my drawing. I'm drawing a little better. Anime, dude. Hair. RPG. I think that's a better term. JRPG. Yeah. Or Eastern MMO. You know? That's the new thing. That's a new term. Let's call it that. You know, people like to say anime this, anime that. I think it's just that the video game, the Eastern style video game look. That's a more educated type of I guess label. But labels are pretty stupid anyway. Sometimes they're like these lines. They shouldn't be so strict. lines should just be there to kind of give us an idea of the shapes, because we're going to be using values. Okay. So now I have the wireframe underneath him, and you know, a lot of nice happy accidents come from these lines too sometimes. So, a bedhead. I noticed you, Link. I said hi when you first showed up. I said hello. I'm here. You're here. So what's happening? And we're gonna try to stick to 1 hour, okay? This is the new thing. I really was proud of myself the last time I streamed. Actually, I said, man, I cut it early. Thanks to forgot who prompted me. He's like if you want to leave, go ahead and leave. I mean, you know, I said, you know what, I'm gonna leave. Okay. That's good there. So the next thing you can do is outline the shadows, keeping them kind of shadows, just keeping them kind of light, I guess. I guess smaller was, it's fine. It's fine. No, let's go larger. Let's go larger because, you know what? I want some more detail in these shadows. Let me go larger with these shadows. Keeping this still broad. Okay. Good. So there's going to be a big old shadow here. There's going to be shadow across his face. So let's do this. Shadow here. See that? I'm just indicating the border for all those shadows. There. Walking through, and this is just one approach for so I'm hitting all these areas where core shadow is going to hit. They're going to be the cast shadows, the core shadows, the every shadows. Okay. Let me know if you guys prefer this style of video, or do you want me to talk more about personal things in life and philosophies and whatnot. So kind of squint and see where's the strongest lights. That's the first thing you should do. That's the first thing I should do, is figure out where the strongest lights hit first. Don't look at the little details. So I know there's a big old bright light on his leg there. Some lights here. There's a big old mass here, and it goes up this way. And it comes back down. I like that leg muscle. Body-kun got a good leg muscle. One of the best features. I heard somebody got a body-kun. It's coming in a little 2 weeks now or something like that. Congratulations. And also another question that I missed. I always miss questions. Should I get a body-kun? Yeah, get a body-kun. Get it. Invest in it. Invest in some sort of figure drawing figurine or mannequin, and draw from life. Draw from life. See how it feels. It's not easy. So we're gonna get this kind of look here. There's a shadow here. Okay, now let's go back and forth. If you guys can see what I have done and compare it to my drawing, it's definitely not exactly like the picture. The picture's more slanted, actually. The picture's more slanted, and I straightened my dude out a little more than the character. And we'll see here. So that's that, and that's my figure. Let's come back in here like this. Okay. So, what have I done? What have I done? I'm just laying down all the barriers to all the shadows. Now, what do we do from here? This can get really, 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 really complicated now. Like, I mean, I guess I can go in and fill in the smaller shapes. Yeah, let's do that. Hard edge. So when I'm doing this, I'm hitting mostly. What am I hitting? What am I hitting? I'm gonna keep in mind hard edges and soft edges, and that'll make sense in the next step. That'll make a lot of sense in the next one. So bear with it. There's a big shape here. Big shape here. Oh man, I have to erase now. Because I want the nose to stand out here. There's a big light shape here. Stop that light there like that. And I think that's better. Okay. Even though he has a bunch of hair. Now, how would you create that kind of shadow for hair like this? So it's really abstract. Yeah, I'm laying these lines wherever I see a strong kind of edge between light and shadow. Strong edge. And that can be this area here. This would be a soft shadow. But there's also edges where it's the hard edge of the shadow. So the next part is, I'm going to block in no layers. No. Rough pencil? Let's see the rough pencil. No, that was a little too rough. Let's try to go even lighter than that right here. So I'm gonna try to block these in nice and flat, okay? So not too many strokes, otherwise it starts getting dark, I guess. What we got here? Do you have a female body cunt? That would be a body chan. Yeah, my bad. Body chan. Said I should only draw with Sharpies. No, do expo markers work? I remember trying to do it once with markers, and I was about 10 years old, and I never went back. That's a horrible thing. Those things are difficult to use. I think we're being too timid. Yeah, too timid. Too timid. Let's go even darker than that. Yeah. Too timid between lights and shadows. So I'm just gonna do that again. Kind of cross hatching, so hatching and laying down one flat color. This is how you get kind of familiar with lighting and how to make your lights more dense and wraparound forms, because it teaches you to be more subtle. I'm trying to figure that word. More sensitive, almost like the word sensitive. Sensitive to the shapes of the forms using these hatching, and you'll kind of get an idea of how many strokes it takes to actually build up that value, and in what direction. So laying down all these shapes here. Yeah, this using the pencil tool, which colored pencil tool. They're all stock brushes from Manga Studio. They just come all ready to go. All ready to go. I'm using Manga Studio for those who don't know and who are new to the channel. There's a strong shadow here. There's no line there, so sometimes my eye gets like faked out. So check it out. What that line is actually a core shadow, but if you squint your eyes, it's just darkness. It's a lot of cast shadow underneath there. So let's just simplify that with that. Okay. And I'm disregarding the reflected light on the other side. Okay. Bodycon's been showing up on my Instagram lately a lot more. What we have here? Go into Cynix's stream and wait till the end when somebody posts a link. More precise, more aware. Do you have the link? Shadows are effed up. Where? My shadows? Thanks, buddy. Shadows are effed up. There's a strong shape here. There's a strong shape here. You know, sometimes you just got to be bold and do it dark, I guess. It's okay. Okay, we'll keep going like this, and be bold, meaning I'm gonna darken it. I'm not even gonna be afraid of my lines. Okay, I'm just gonna fill them in. See how if I keep going, it gets darker and darker and darker. Because if you look, they're like dots. So it's like building up values. And these abs. Okay. Now. Bodycon. Got some soft abs here, soft abs there. Just blocking that shape for his face. I really forgot how I did the last. Actually, forgot how I did the other one. So let's look at this one here. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, now we're gonna even out these shadows and lines. Not even out, but we're gonna blend them in. There's two ways you can actually paint them in or just blend them in. Okay. So there's a blending. You can blend them in like this. Just go over it, top, and go back and forth by selecting the lighter one and coming back. That's a good one. But they also have a blending tool just for blending. It's getting warm. It is getting warm. It won't let me. Yeah, shadows are pretty difficult. I never got dark enough. I wish I had money for that figure. Let's go just add 6. Okay. This leg. Notice how my leg has a shadow across the side here. And there's really not much light at all on this leg. And that's because there's a lot of subtlety. We're gonna talk about that today. There. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna blend these shadows in. Blend them in. Not using the blending tool, I'm just gonna paint them in. Just ever so lightly, just Just getting rid of these marks here wherever I can. As you can see, these are big, broad shadow shapes. See that? This is where smudging comes really in handy. Keeping things nice and broad, especially that hand there. There's really no form at all to that hand. That's okay. So me and the Boogie Monster, we got some colored pencils recently. I mean, some serious color pencils. It's been, I mean, watercolors, brushes and all. Serious. I mean, spent some serious cash on it. She was like, I don't want no watercolor. I was like, you sure about that? You want a watercolor? And she said, yeah. So we went out and got some. Spent like $130. $130 for like 5 colors. That's the cost of traditional paints, man. One brush was like $20, and we got like the books, I was gonna live stream it, but I thought it was gonna be too stressful for her. She's not an artist, and well, she is an artist. Everyone has the potential to be an artist, but she does not art per se. So we have these shapes blocked in, kind of more flat looking. We can flatten it out even more, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna focus on this. Now let's get some details in first before we do the next stage, because we have to do these big shapes, bolder ones. So there's a muscle there, and there's some muscle here. The collarbone is a tricky area. The collarbone, just know there's a collarbone there that comes out like this. Around here, really strong shadow here. Okay, kind of suggesting it with these soft strokes here. And when I brought up the watercolor thing, we painted for a good old like 3 hours, and I learned a lot of things. And that's where I'm thinking about right now. I'm like, as I'm painting this, I'm using those techniques I learned in watercolor. How I let the colors bleed, how I didn't let the colors bleed. I never really got into watercolor. I love the look of it, but I was always intimidated. Okay. Let's do the other stage first before we start the next one. So in the next one, we're gonna start blocking in the darks. We call them, I guess we can call them. You're welcome, and I'm always right. LOL. I'm just used to the Krita hotkey. It is control. Maybe I was confused. Going on for them high quality paints. Jet, the figure has light coming from the computer screen. There's light coming from the computer screen. Yeah. I did not block those in yet. Those will come in last. And you'll see why. Yes, you're right. So I'm gonna use the kind of eraser mode. Cut out some forms for this here, for the chest, more rounded edge here. So I'm working on these edges. I guess I don't worry about that yet. Let's continue to the next stage. Okay, perfection is our enemy right now. And I was thinking about that. Being a perfectionist is what kind of propelled me into getting things right. So I was being really hard on myself about the perfectionist side of myself before. but it has its benefits at the same time. Its flaws. Okay. The part where it forces me not to give up. So I'm gonna squint my eyes because I'm getting really caught up with this. Let's just block in those shapes there. Squint your eyes. Squint your eyes. Where does it get dark? Where does it get dark? I mean like core shadow dark. Squint your eyes. This is the, I forgot the term. The term is the ambient occlusion. They get darker as it recedes into the crevices. And they also become core shadow areas because they come towards us and it's the closest. So it's not the receding part. The receding part, I meant to say just the crevices. Let's block those in. Block those in. I can just hit every kind of core shadow really. Be really broad about it. Yeah. Squint harder. How good is your squint game? Now, here's the portion that I saw earlier. Huh? We can and then we can do this. See how we get that kind of reflected lights just by doing these core shadows? But that's not all. There's more to it. There's more to it. So blocking those in. Blocking those in, so simplifying it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, scusi. I guess, can't take that call right now. Sorry, little bug. Little bug. So simplify the shapes. I mean the shadows, right? It's a process. Now, let's unify them. Unify them by blending them in. I'm just painting them. I'm just painting them in. Painting them in. And there's a big shape here that I missed. I'll teach you a little about it. No, not yet. Let's keep going. Alright, let's blend first. Let's blend. So we're going to take these shapes and we're going to blend areas where it's soft. Okay, this is a little trickier if you're using just pen and pencil. Maybe use a tissue and smear the paper. Smear it. Rounding off the edges, but not all of them. You don't just beep, and smear across and it just get this weird. It starts. There's no kind of hard to soft variation. You wanna go soft and hard. So this hard edge right here, kind of a stronger cast shadow, but that doesn't actually exist in real life. Just an hour? If you're watching, just an hour? Just for an hour. Yeah. We got like 10 more minutes, Becky. Bookie. Okay. So. Right. Yeah, we go to dance. We go. We'll go to it. We'll go to the dance competition. Whoa. Oh, shoot. Okay, we can eat. We can eat. We eat. My house. It's Friday. 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 That's when you gotta, go out and eat. So, look how I'm using this blender. If I'm blending with this brush here, it extends to that distance. But if I'm using a smaller one, then it doesn't go as far. And that's the one I want because of the strong kind of edge that the pecs make. Otherwise, it'd be a big old round boob. If it's just, okay, if it's just like that, it becomes very, very rounded. This side is actually like that. This side kind of does that. But this side doesn't as much. Let's keep continuing. Let's just get rid of all these shapes. So now I'm modifying. Sum. Remember that sum? Acronym. Simplify, unify, and then modify. So right now we are unifying them. No, are we unifying them? Yeah, we're blending away the marks to make them kind of have strong transitions or nice transitions from one another. That's what we call the unify stage. All the way through first. All the way through. Let's get those all the way through. Okay. I don't know what I'm thinking over here. It should be a lot lighter. But it's on there now. It's on there now. Okay. I like using watercolor draw girls that are the same of the month and time. Then you can really get. Oh God, I know where the door is. Good, use it. Yeah, monkey. What the hell are you doing? I'm gonna have to get some mods out here. Who wants to be a mod? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was a pretty good joke. It's a pretty good joke. I gotta admit. Okay. See this one here? That's a hard edge. Pay attention here. Hard edge because... Why? Because there's no hard edge? Okay, there's no hard edge. Okay. Yeah. Hard edge here. So the hard edge is over here because there's a shadow being casted, but on here it's being rounded for the bicep. I see now. I get it. Soft edge here, but hard edge over here. No, pencil. And we can modify it too to get these shapes. And now we're gonna start modifying these things. Okay, let's modify some of these things. Modify it. I know there's a pit here. I don't see it in the actual mannequin. I don't see a lot of shapes actually for the mannequin, but I'm gonna add them in anyway. So here's where the detail comes in. Here's where the detail. Oh, and also note that there's a tone in the back of the paper. A tone in the back of the background. It's gonna help me build some lights on top of it. So we already have like kind of flat tone there. Kind of suggesting his eyes, not really focusing on it too much. Really, it's just kind of, you're just blending the whole time, and all of a sudden a figure just kind of fades through. Like, I'm just gonna blend this out a little bit, and eventually, magically, a figure just flies through. Okay. So that's that. More modifications. Oopsie, wrong one. Okay, that's the one. So I'm putting these shapes in here. Let's get some more shapes in here. Now that right there, Jet, is cheating. I'm already using the eraser tool to get these shapes. Shouldn't be doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. That should be in the end. Okay. All right. So look how rough these are. These abs. Just putting those details in, but I'm going to blend them out. Blend them out. And as you can see, it gets... blend this way, get some abs. These are rounded edges, so round them off. Round them off. Do you want round abs or kind of box abs? Depends. Like, okay, here's a good example here. Is your leg made of rock? There's only two edges, but if you do this top portion here, then it rounds off like that. Okay. Okay. So that's that there. I'm gonna show the next stage here in just a quick second. Oh, that's a blur brush. That's not the one I want. That's fine. Next stage is something that a lot of people miss. A lot of people miss. And this is a really good trick for creating the illusion of light. Okay. After I blend these forms out, you know, if it looks too hard edged and weird, just blend it out. Blend it away softly though. You're just dabbing. Just dabbing. There's a rounded edge here. Rounded edge here. I'm messing it up over here. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Alright. I thought I quit out on accident. So let's do that again. So there's a shape here. I'm gonna blend this out like this. The more I push it out, the more rounded it gets. So I want to stay in this area and just go back and forth. It takes a little practice. You don't want it. You have a range or a distance where you're allowed to blend. I want it to go from here, like from here to here. I don't want it to go any further. That's the distance of that blend. So it does it. Alright, so we're going to unify some more shapes. Doing the subtlety. This is the exciting part. It's a nice, oops. the nice part. I'm just gonna take my soft brush. Oops. Soft brush. I'm using the colored pencil still. Okay. But I want some texture, so I'm gonna use the rough pencil. Let's get some pencil texture. And let's keep it light. Let's keep it light. This is what we call... Ah! Shoot. Yeah, that's too much texture, isn't it? Too much texture. Let's go back to color pencil. Yeah, let's go back to color pencil. I'm just gonna graze over areas. As you can see, it's on the bottom. I'm just gonna blend it out. Blend it out. This is gonna create a gradient from the bottom to the top. Technique the traditional artists use. You know, you can just use the gradient tool in real life, sure. But how are you gonna do it in figure drawing? Figure drawing, you can cross hatch too. Watch this. For that knee, like this. So like this. This. You may be wondering what's going on. What the heck, Jet? There's lines on a drawing now. That's fun. I learned this one from Master Henry Yan. You gotta go check him out. He's a good artist. He's a master. So I'm blending out those shapes, but not completely. I don't want to lose the information I put down. And so we're getting that. We're getting that. Remember what I told you about that simplify, unify? So I'm simplifying it. I'm not thinking about detail. Not thinking about detail. So this, in a sense, is blending. I mean, is that the word I'm looking for? Blending? Yeah, blending. Anywhere I want a gradient. Anywhere where I want gradients. Getting lost edges over here. No. So we got to blend out his package there. There. So now we're getting there. We're getting there. See how I can take out that reflected light just by dabbing it there. All right. All right. Okay. I love body cunt. I can be your body senpai. Knee shadows are hard to do for me. If they're hard, just blend them out, man. You don't deal with them. Deal with them. So I'm just blending them out. They're in there somewhere. You know? And this is a... See? Notice how his knee kind of pops out like that? It's really bright. What I'm trying to accomplish here is a gradient. That knee shouldn't be bright as the top of his... as bright as the top of his thigh there. See? So I just blend it out. Now I'm not looking at the figure as much anymore. I'm just doing it by feel. So as you go up, we're getting that. So watch those lights. That's what you're keeping your eye on. How bright are those lights? This part right here. This really. Just blend them out. Blend them out. just to blend him out. Now, so we simplified it, kind of unified it. Do we need to modify it? We need to modify it. Let's see, where do we need to modify it? Let's modify it by pulling out some lights. Yeah, I think that's the next step. So we're gonna hit the take this color here, a brighter color, brighter than the paper. Okay. Oh, it's already been 56 minutes. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna hit him quick. Pow. 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 It's gonna get this gloss effect. See? Let's make sure it's not too glossy, because then we lose that effect of that gradient. Hit those lights. Kind of like specular highlights. Figure out where are those specular highlights. Squint your eyes. This is where the detailing comes in, actually. I'm gonna figure out where those hard edges is. See how that creates a chin? A chin for him. If you squint your eyes and look at this, there's no chin. Now there's a chin. And if I go over here to this figure here, you can see clearly there's a chin. I'm undo it, and do it, undo it, and do it. Chin, see? So, now we continue. Block it in. Block it in. Block it in. Right on the edges. Right on the edges of those shadows. This is where the form really takes off and just grows. Okay, I'm squinting my eyes. Comes across our hair a little bit. That's the I forgot what that's called. We might do this again and explain it a little more clearly. Okay, now we're just gonna lay them across as if we don't care about how dark and how light things are. Okay, because we're gonna modify it. Remember, we have that stage. We hit that right here. A little light catches right there on his arm. And this part right here, a little light just grazes across. Oh, I really don't know what's called. Specular highlight. Keep saying that. Keep saying that. What does it mean? It's those dotted lights. They're specky. A really, really strong light on here. I did not catch that at all. So I'm just gonna graze it with this pencil. Okay. More ball shape here. There's a ball there. For that knee, I'm just playing with the lights. So, playing with those light shapes. I know there's a shape here. So without looking at the figure now, this is the tricky part about bodycon, because this doesn't exist on bodycon. All this stuff. There's gonna be a bulge there for the package. The package is being delivered. And I know it's a shape that comes right here above kind of the pelvic area. Okay. So we're gonna sculpt out the shapes on here. Here. Sculpt out. There's a lot of light being catched over here. On the top of it. See, I had a very rough, I guess, morning. My throat was like froggy because I think it's because I let my dog kiss me, like one kiss on the face, because he jumped up, and I don't think I washed my face. I just went to sleep. Gotta wash your face. Always wash my hands though, for sure. Always wash my hands, because I'm taking them out to go eat. I mean, to go pee and all that stuff. When they come into the house, they jump up, they do all their love and affection, and then now this part right here I'm just making up because this doesn't exist on the dude. A light just grazes the top portion of that. Top portions of that. So we've simplified it, didn't we? Send us packing. See, Body Kun has no packs. Does Jet remind anyone else of Tony Jaa? Well, he is Cambodian, actually. He is Cambodian, you guys. He's known for being in Thai movies. But he's a Cambodian. He's actually... I was surprised myself. I was like, yeah, we got one on the screen. We got one. We got one. But you are the first to say that. Maybe my my skull structure, a little bit like Tony Jaa. It's gonna be Cambodian after all. Okay, now. So I guess this is probably, I should have done the subtleties after this. I mean before this. I guess whichever preference you want. So I'm gonna cut in here. See, I cut in there. Now, the form is kind of growing here. Painting these lights. Being real serious about here. Paint this collarbone. Now we're gonna... I want more abs. I want more abs, and I want more abs in real life. But also in this figure here. But I want that ab to catch more light. Kind of like he's puffing up his chest. So I'm just going to carve that part out. And see how I'm able to create that edge there? There's like an ab there. See? No ab, and there's a rib cage, I guess. What did we say? We gotta unify, right? Put that here. Put that there. Now it's really strong shapes here. See how bright that gets? Look how bright that knee gets. Let's go back to the drawing. That knee gets really bright on mine, and that's not really how I see it. But that's okay. I'm gonna lay them down. I think maybe it was best to do the lights first and then do the subtleties, but that's okay. We're gonna blend them in again. Playing with hard and soft edges so that it doesn't quite show up that clearly. So it's a haze. It's almost like a haze. You kind of see it, but you kind of don't. So it kind of, what's the word? Comes in and out of focus. Yes, that's the word. Comes in and out of focus. So anywhere where there's a mark of a human being, it has to look natural. So natural mixed with unnatural, creating these kind of illusions. Yeah. Okay. And there's a bunch of unnaturals going on here. Let's make sure that's blended out. Oh, I'm using the blur. Don't use the blur. Blur kind of evenly just messes everything up evenly. So dab, dab, dab. The bottom here is hard edge. I'm gonna dab that edge off. So you're gonna see points of darkness and lightness, hard edge, soft edge, and let's make sure this shoulder. So there's that light we created. Just a bunch of light shapes there. And that's that. And this is the shape of his chest here. More square on the top. Let's square it off. So he doesn't have boobs. Droopy boobs. Oh no, I'm 4 minutes late. 4 minutes over. Okay, let's pull in. Blend this out some more. Let's go again. Real easy with that subtlety, okay? I'm gonna go again. Okay, and my hands are, it's harder because I'm so this is real subtle. Just being real subtle. I'm trying to go lighter. Maybe that'll help. I have a pressure. Nope, that's not going to work. We have to go dark. We have to have a dark color that matches the shadows. Otherwise, every time I go out of the shadow, it messes it up. Okay. So what happens is there is almost like atmosphere over the lit area. It's not just a light. There's layers of light. So almost like a cross-hatched figure. So look at now. Even his hair. I don't see how blocky it looks. It almost looks stale, like, what's the word? The word I'm looking for, you guys. Okay, now let's take those shapes and let's blur them out. So remember I said unify. Now we're unifying them. So there are markings of a human, but there are markings of a natural. That's right. Let's blur this out. Now let's leave that in there so we know that there were lines. So again, he's getting lost into the shadows and the edge of this side here. See, so it's blurry. You got a blurry hip. Where does this hip end? Where does it start? Or this part right here? It gets dark. It hits now. That makes him look super thin. I don't want that. There, right here. That's a nice spot. So it looks like it's getting blended into the background. Okay. So we're basically unifying these shapes here. Unifying everything just by slightly blending it. Let's get some crazy. Oh, no. Yep, so I'm losing stuff. Don't be afraid. I used to be afraid. Drawing a bunch of zombie characters definitely helped me figure this out. Don't have to be afraid. So there's a big bright shape there. There's a big bright shape here, and there's just there was something here. So there's a there we go. Something fun I used to always do in my drawings is take this here and just cut through for that highlight. I don't know if that's appropriate for this here. Just for an effect. Let's get this here. So these highlights here are going to be the last highlights on top of Bodycon. They're the brights of the brights. Can we get any brighter? I don't think so. Keep the focus on his head. So it's going to be the brightest there. Super bright there. Super bright there. All over here. Just bright. Okay. Now. So we've modified it. We've unified it. Now. We're going to do the highlight on the edge on the other side. Using this here color. But we're just going to use a bright. We can use blue, we can use red, we can use orange. What color did I use for the last one? I think this is a nice natural color, and I used actually Oh dear, I should have. Oh, I should have paid attention. I should have used. Okay, let's try that now. Let's try that now. Let's try to use that kind of bluish tint here. So it gets kind of blue across the top here. Because I like that kind of bluish tint there. Because it's creating like a nice contrast. It's easier to see, much easier to see than just straight white. When it's just going white, it just kind of turns into the it just looks like a gradual shift from the dark to the light. But this makes it a very apparent kind of color. I have to do it all over here. Yeah. It looks kind of weird because I did it kind of last minute, and I have to hit all of them, otherwise it's not complete. It has to be like locked in. It's like once it's distributed evenly and completely, then it will show up appropriately. If I just like did like an orange spot here, you know, it sticks out like a sore thumb and it doesn't make any sense. What's that doing there? What is that? What's that supposed to be? So I had a conscious decision when I last did it. I was like, yeah, let's make those highlights. Let's make those highlights properly blue. Highlights. Again, they're getting too. I gotta modify it now. Remember I said simplify, unify, modify. Okay. Flip them around. Flip them around. I'm gonna modify him now, creating edges. So things that we want to emphasize, we emphasize. This is actually the last stage of the drawing. Really just the last stage of, yeah, just all the lit area. There's also the back area, which I'm not even touched yet. Let's erase out this edge here. It's too far, I think. Much too far. Oh, I'm on a different layer. That's why. That's right. Let's go. Let's collapse it. Let's collapse it. Oops. Okay, now we get really crazy with this stuff here. Blend it out, and blend it out, and blend it out. Okay. Now, the fun part. The fun part. Creating that nice backlight. I like the natural color I used here. It's going to give us a real nice 3D shape once we pop it in there. So now I'm going to look at the figure again because there are a lot of bright lights from the computer. I'm gonna make this saturated. Doesn't look that saturated yet. Make it brighter. It's not coming through. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, old figure. So you can be bold about it, or you can be subtle about it. Again, this is creating edges to the figure. Super fun part. You know, something I noticed is from the masters who paint, they kind of jump from stage to stage a lot faster. So they don't stick to one spot for too long. They just jump. They're not afraid. Oh man, I wanted to do this on a separate layer, but it's alright. It's alright. Knowing where the curves are for the muscles. He's got some hips. Body couldn't be doing them squats. Squats, body kun. Oh, you gotta bounce. See ya, Sketch Cat. Thanks for joining, buddy. You gang. Be good. You be good, man. Take care. Okay. And this part's catching that light all the way under here, huh? Yeah, I gotta do this more often. I don't paint in 3D because I kind of favor lines. I mean, I watched a video that says, why your drawing sucks? Sorry to say it like that, but people, I mean, it was about why your drawing sucks. And the first thing they listed was your reliance on line. And I completely disagreed. Completely. I mean, you're forgetting about all the comic artists who are all about graphic shapes and lines. And they're incredible. And they rely on the line to make their drawing good. So their number one of their first thing that was on the list was, the reason why your drawing sucks is because your lines. Because your reliance on lines. No. Your drawing, it's both. It could be because you're a 2D artist or a 3D artist. Which one do you favor? You favor your lines, or do you favor your values and light? It all depends on the person. I mean, the whole video was kind of a little wacky. It was really popular though. So I'm gonna have to do my own little why your drawing sucks. I think one of the reasons why your drawing sucks is simple things like not willing to accept critique, not willing to see things from another person's perspective. That type of stuff. It's about growth, and that arm is huge. It doesn't, body couldn't working out. So now we can just unify those shapes, modify them a little bit so that they don't look too. What's the word am I looking for? Manufactured, artificial. Yeah. Look around. See what parts stick out like a sore thumb and which part doesn't, and which part needs to be blended out. Almost everything that I lay down, I have to go back over and blend it in. So it's kind of instances of kind of these things. Instances of light and dark. So that side can be hard edged, the other side can be soft. This side can be hard edged. Let's do this side instead. Any side you want. No, let's do this side. So by erasing these things, I shouldn't be erasing actually, I forgot. I shouldn't be erasing. Let's do this last one. This last thing here. This is the last thing we're gonna do, and we're gonna call it done. We're gonna create a border for him. Okay, let's create that border. Okay, nice white border. It can be a white border or a black border, but there's light coming from behind, so I like the white one, especially from the last drawing I did. And we're gonna just etch him out. I like the blurriness. It's nice. That blurry, the blending that goes off his form and stuff. I like that stuff. But we can do both. We can do both. The black, if you were to use black, then these reflected lights will show up a lot better. It will. So this really works really well if you're using, let's just use a hard edge. Really well if you're using tone paper. So tone paper really works because then you already have that kind of first value already established. And I might do this again. You know, this is kind of me practicing in, like, it's been a while since I've, you know, really put this like figure drawing work to practice. But since I got bodycon now, I did the whole second layer. See, I don't have to do this. It was ready to go. It's done. It's done because of the. See, I'm flattening out the character now. It's just flat. It's just flatting. It's kind of nice to have those it's kind of nice to have these like blends, these blended areas in and out of focus. It's nice. It's especially for just, you know, quick little sketch studies. It captures that energy and it retains that life in it, I think. But let's see how rough there is. Since there's so many layers of lights and stuff, it kind of looks like a hazy hand. Like you can see knuckles in there. You kind of make it up in your mind because you've established these different sets of lights, different reflected lights, different values, dancing around. It creates this illusion, this very subtle illusion. You don't really have to draw a hand to get it. Oh, I struggled so hard during school trying to do this on paper, but digitally it's actually even harder because can be harder if you're constantly trying to fix it and edit it. So yeah, maybe I gotta go back to charcoal. What's going on? What's happening to me? Okay, let's just fill it in. See that quickly. So I don't have to waste too much time. So that's in there. Got that there. Oops. So that it doesn't look completely flat. I mean floaty. Let's get some shadows right here. Again, we got to go back into that blending mode. Soften it. So light's bleeding in and out. His feet are blurry. His feet are blurry. Yes, they are, sir. We don't need feet today. He's just dancing around the fog. Dancing around the fog. Okay, I gotta go eat after this. I have not eaten. can do it like that. Or we can just go bigger brush, I think. Much bigger. Let's go much bigger and let's just spray it. That atmospheric fog all over the place, man. Bigger, broader brushes. Okay. And you can do the inverse of it. You can erase it back out. I can't erase it back out, actually. I can't. Put a funny face. Yeah, I should just not do that there. We can do that. Yeah, instead of. Now, we have this. We have the option of doing it like this, or we can. My perfectionist side is coming through again, screwing me up. Just like fades further back. Shoot. Or we can do the dark. Let's see if it works. I haven't tried this. Meh. 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 I guess it works. It's just it's not a color. So let's try to give it a color. Yeah. Yeah, I think this works better. Actually, so you can see where there are a bunch of hard edges, and I would go in and blend them out here and there. So either way, for some reason I liked the white on the last one, but I like the color on this one. His feet are blurred. I know. They're in there. They're in there somewhere. All right. I'm just gonna keep fiddling with it. It's not good. Just end it. Just end it, Jet. So that's a nice touch. So that wraps up the dude. Dang it. I like this kind of sketchy look, so let's kind of make it even some more sketchier. So we basically, when we see something, we run with it. We run with it. It's always modifying everything, every stage, even the border making. Okay. So let's take a look at this here. Figure versus Mr. Bodycon. There's that dude, and then there's Bodycon. All right, thanks. The finish not perfect, Josiah. Josiah, what's up, buddy? Thanks to you guys for joining. We have Canino, Phil, Weijian, Van, Swirly Sheep. We got A-Chucks, Link, Heavy, and Canino Phil. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, we got a lot of people. And thanks to everyone else I didn't see. So that was it, the figure. So try it out. Maybe we'll do it again next time. It's gonna take a lot of practice. A lot of practice. So thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Oh, come on, Arik. Arik says, I just joined. I'm sorry, dude. I have to go eat, and I'm probably in trouble now because the boogie monster's so great. Okay. Thanks so much, you guys. Take care. Let me just play this out here real quick. Play this out. Play it on. Take care. Bada bada boom. Bye.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and